Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Tristan, and today I'm doing a heavily anticipated video. I'm finally bringing you all the updated how to cop off sneakers video in 2021. Basically my full guide on what you guys can do to actually cop more often and how you can make multiple accounts on sneakers to basically, have more success and just, have more chances to enter in those draws, those, Leo drops, Dan drops, whatever it is. I'll be here kind of discussing how you can have more success in general. So I hope you guys will enjoy it. Again, if you want more content just like this video right here, then feel free to go ahead and subscribe below and also drop a like. I'd appreciate it. Again, the goal for this video, I want to make the goal for this video 500 likes. That's a huge goal, I know, but just over time I think we will hit that goal. I don't expect to hit it first day, second day, but maybe you guys surprise me if you want to, but that's all I gotta say. Big goal for this video, because I know this video gonna do well because I have a lot of really good info for you guys. So check the Discord out down below if you want to. Also got a little free Discord right there. It's just mine if you want to check it, but let's get into the video right now. Alright, so as you guys can see, of course I am here with the screen recording to provide you all with this info, and I just want to shout out my Instagrams real quick. So if you want to go check those out down below, give me the follow. I'd appreciate it, much love, but let's just kind of get those out of the way, because that's not what we're discussing for this video today. We're discussing how to cop. So the first thing I want to point out about making multiple sneakers accounts, and of course this notepad, you already know I bring this notepad every kind of sneakers how to cop, but I've done a lot of editing to it, and I especially did last night. I was looking, you can see 1037, your boy's doing that research, checking for that info, and he got a lot of info right here kind of explaining how you can jig your address and correctly make multiple accounts so you don't get tracked at all. So kind of the first step again with making any account on sneakers, as you guys know, if you're trying to make an account on sneakers, it's really not that hard. All you got to do is literally go right here to Google and just type Nike sneakers. Just go type Nike sneakers and then go right here. It'll take you to this, and you basically just make a Nike account and sign up. And the only things that you really have that are required for a Nike sneakers account that have to be different for every single one, the name can be the same for every sneakers account. I wouldn't do 100 sneakers accounts with the jigged address in the same name. That's kind of dumb, but Nike doesn't really check by the name. And the two things that have to change again, email and phone number. Every single sneakers account has to have a different phone number and email. If it doesn't have a different phone number and email, then those accounts, they're just two accounts literally cannot have the same phone number. They won't let you create it, and they also have to verify the phone number. So even if you try and have two accounts with the same phone number, they have to get verified. So if they already see one account has it, then you're not going to be able to make a second account with the same number. So just kind of my first advice, if you're new to sneakers, that's the first thing you have to know, is every account, different email, different phone number required. So just use your family members phone numbers. That's what I do. Just for my accounts, I just use like 5. I've kind of been upgrading. I used to only use 2, but your boy's been kind of using more methods, kind of using more accounts, just kind of without proxies for now. So I'm just kind of sticking with 5, and that's what I found a lot of success with. So yeah, again, each one different phone number, different email. It's not hard to make a different email. You can do that on your own. And with the phone number, just ask, just ask to verify, phone number with someone else's, just ask them, just like, yo, I'm gonna get a code, verify it for me. I don't know why I'm explaining that for so long, because that's not really the full process. So the second step with making a Nike sneakers account, and I really want to point this out because this is super, super important right here, is the proxies portion. Now, what proxies are is basically proxies protect you from getting your IP banned, because as you guys know, sneakers tracks your computer and the different accounts that you're running through an IP. So if they see that you have 10 accounts loading 2 minutes before the drop all at the same time and going for one drop under the same IP address, and you don't have any proxies, then that's not a good look. And Sneakers is probably going to flag those accounts and you won't hit on them again. Now, one way to avoid getting your account flagged, and if it does get flagged, then my recommendation is just clear your cookies, and then it just looks like you're logging brand new in back on your computer, and then your account's just not flagged again. That's what I've kind of found works. I know people are kind of confused about the whole Nike flagging system, and I'm kind of one of those people too. It's a very complicated system how your account gets flagged. Some people think it's temporary, some think it's not. I think it's temporary because I've definitely had my account flagged before and then hit on that account again once I just cleared my cookies. So just some basic advice right there. But let's kind of get back into proxies. So you understand that proxies now, the only purpose that they really serve is to protect your IP from getting banned. And this is really, again, only if you're running more than 5 sneakers accounts. If you're running under 5 sneakers accounts, then do not worry about proxies. But if you're trying to run like 10 sneakers accounts, kind of using the whole Chrome user method, which I will kind of explain in a second, then I'll explain a couple things that you will definitely need to run this method successfully. So if you are trying to run multiple Chrome users on your computer, and again, Sneakers, they have an app on your phone. I don't know why I forgot to mention this, but there's an app on your phone. So depending on how many phones you have too, if you got like 5 phones, and just run 5 accounts in your phone and just make sure you jig the address, which we will get into that later. But yeah, a phone is a really fast way to go. Also, if your phone is Apple Pay, then you should definitely be using that. Apple Pay working Touch ID. If you have a phone with that, you should be having a Sneakers account on that phone, because that is a very fast way to check out, and you might hit on that account a lot, because the faster you check out, the more authentic it looks. I mean, that's a really good look to sneakers. You know, if you are able to go through and check out in 2-3 seconds and it looks perfectly legit, no errors, no nothing, then there's good chance you'll get a 9. At least from that's what I've seen. You know, it doesn't really matter. You can come in 3 minutes late to the drop. If you check out in 2 seconds, you might hit on that size you want, just as long as it isn't sold out too fast. You know, this kind of depends versus, you know, Dan and Leo drops. The Dan drops are, you know, kind of the ones where you have like 1 to 3 minutes and you got to enter really quick. And then the Leo drops, you know, all the draw ones you've been seeing recently. Also, haven't you noticed how they've been pretty much changing all the dunk drops to I think it's been the Leo releases, pretty much raffle ones. Yeah, kind of, you know, changing it up a little bit. So if they've been putting all dunks with raffle ones, so, you know, that's just when you make as many accounts as possible and enter in the raffles as many times as you can. But back to the whole Chrome users thing and how you would make multiple different accounts using different Chrome users. So as you guys can see, I'm logged in just on one account right here. This is just my sneakers account. This is one that I got logged in on, and you can see I'm on a Chrome user right here. So you can see I'm on this Chrome user right here, and you can see I also got another one called video example. Now I actually use this Chrome user, and you see if I click on it, you can see there's pretty much nothing on it. But if I click Nike sneakers, then you're going to notice I have 2 different accounts right here on these 2 different, there you go, see it just appeared. I thought it wasn't appearing. I thought it was about to look dumb for a second, but you can see I have 2 different accounts pretty much running right here on 2 different Chrome users. So all you got to do to really do that, and it's very simple, you can see just look Tristan Wick and then Wick. These are 2 different accounts I got right here, both, you know, kind of, again, I just use privacy cards and different payment methods to have the accounts work. And again, we'll explain that in a second here, but just kind of explaining how you would make, again, the multiple Chrome users. So it's really simple. All you have to do is just go right here and you just click add a Chrome user, and you literally can make one and make another user, and it's super easy. You can call it whatever you want. Like, let's just say I was calling it video example 2, you can see, and boom, I'm just going to do this, click the cat, and boom, now I have another Chrome user. And this is under, like, I could sign into an account I want, and you don't even have to sign into an account. It just really asks you all the basic, like, stuff, or you can just skip all this, just no thanks, whatever. And you can see, look, then I'm gonna just go to Nike sneakers right here, and boom, I'd make a whole nother Chrome user. You can see it's just gonna ask me to, like, make a Nike account and all that. You can see, like, join login. It's not gonna sign me into anything because it doesn't recognize that I'm on a, you know, thinks I'm on a new user, so it's not gonna notice anything. And boom, I'll just go right here, new email, new password, and then, you know, I just make the account right there. You see it just says join us, so it's very simple, and that's how you can make a different Chrome user and make a different Nike account for each browser. However, that is definitely not the last step. Now, if you're just making a couple Chrome users on your computer and you're making like 4 or 5 on your computer, then it's really not a big deal. The one thing I will recommend though is when you're making different Chrome users and putting a Nike account assigned to each Chrome user, you know, when you're making the Nike account, then it's going to be assigned to that Chrome user. Like, make sure you save the login info on that Chrome user for that Nike account. Whatever email you made, whatever password is for that one account, save it on that Chrome user. So make sure you have Chrome users specific to certain Nike accounts. Hopefully that kind of makes sense right there. And again, kind of just going back to the iPad, it really will explain here. A couple more things I want to say too. Sneakers is more picky on bigger drops. They are much more picky on bigger drops. As you guys may know, you do not want to be loading all your accounts like 2 minutes before the drop. Make sure you have your accounts loaded, all of them on different tabs, and make sure you know you're kind of just periodically like kind of checking them. I don't know why I'm using big words. I've literally never used that word in a video before. Make fun of me in the comments, please. But yeah, just kind of going into that. One thing that you can use to kind of avoid sneakers flagging your accounts if you are loading all your accounts like 2 minutes before the drop, which you should never do. If you have like 10 accounts running on your computer on different users like this, you know, kind of like this whole process right here. If you have 10 accounts running on different users, then one thing you are going to need to install on each Chrome user is this thing called BP Proxy Switcher. Now, what this is, and it basically allows you to insert a proxy onto each browser so Nike cannot track your IP. And if Nike can't track your IP, then you can have as many accounts as you want. Just, it depends how fast your computer may lag, you know what I mean? So that's why I say, you know, I usually just stick with 5 to 10. If I was using 10 accounts for, you know, 10 different sneakers accounts and different Chrome users, I would definitely have BP Proxy Switcher installed. And literally how it works, it's super simple. So you just install it right here. I got it up in an extension. And how you would add a proxy again, and one amazing place for proxies I recommend is my guys at Secret Sauce. Huge shout out to them, much love to them. These are my go-to guys. And these proxies, to my knowledge, just kind of work internationally. You know how proxies work, so I don't need to explain what they do. It'll be down in the description if you're interested checking that out. But really how the BP Proxy Switcher works, again, is you just go right here. If you're trying to add a proxy in, you're like, all right, I don't have any proxies in yet, then all you do is just go to edit, and you literally just paste a proxy right here, and it would just be an HTTPS format. That's how it would be with the proxies. You can change the format too. There's different ones, and it allows you to change it too, and you just tell it, you can either have it read automatically from the URL or manually. I mean, either one doesn't really matter. I'd say just once you paste it in, you just click OK, and then boom, you know, I'd have a proxy in. And you can see I don't have any in, so it's not gonna like show me what country, you know, the proxy's based in or whatever, and you can change the country up and do all that, but that's not really necessary. Just, you know, go here, paste your proxy in, hit OK, and boom, just add a proxy, just one proxy for each browser, and you'll be completely straight, and Nike won't be able to track any of those browsers, so you'll be able to run as many users as you want. So just kind of explaining the whole proxy thing. Hopefully that makes sense. And getting back to what I was meaning by Nike being more picky on bigger drops, Nike is much more lenient, as you guys may or may not know, depending on what the drop is. You may notice that, you know, for those like more strict drops, they'll tend to be a draw versus, you know, a normal little release where you have 2-3 minutes to enter in. That's usually how it is. And you even notice some of the draws sell out after like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and you're like, dang, I didn't even get to enter in the whole 10 minutes for the draw. What is this, Nike? And it is BS. Nike does it all the time. They did it for the City Market dunks. It sold out in like 3 minutes, and it was supposed to be a 10-minute draw. Good job, sneakers. Good job. You know, keeping that tech high key working. I remember that just being a very interesting moment. So, that didn't make any sense, but yeah, really just kind of, that's the whole sneakers thing. That's how I'd explain with it being more strict for bigger drops. I mean, just that means just make sure you have your proxies prepared for those bigger drops. Like if you're running like, you know, 5 accounts for a less, like a more low-key drop, you're not going to need proxies. You, again, don't need them for really under, if you're running less than 5 accounts or at 5 accounts, I really don't think you need proxies. But if you're running like 1 on your phone and like 7 on your computer, then you might want to look into that, because if you load, just don't, this is literally my best piece of advice I could give to anybody. Don't load all your Chrome tabs with Nike sneakers accounts assigned to them for a certain drop. Like if there's a release about to drop 2 minutes before, don't load every single Chrome tab at the same time, like all 10 of them right there. Like don't do that. And they shouldn't all be on the same tab anyways. They should be each on a different browser that you made, installed hopefully with BP proxy switcher on each one, and also proxies assigned to each one. Don't forget that, very important. So if you have any questions about comments, anything, you can ask him. If you're confused down below, I got you all. You know I'm there for you guys. So if you're confused about anything, just ask it and I will be there answering it. I'll be very active in my comment section today because I want to make sure this video is done right. I don't want to mess this up. So I just want to make sure you guys understand. And another thing I do want to mention too is I always shout these guys out, and I want to give a huge shout out to my guys at Secret Sauce. Now, while this might not be completely sneakers related, these guys can copy more of those high-end releases that do drop on sneakers, and they can actually help you have success more in the resale game, sneaker investing, whatever you're trying to do. These guys can really help you make some money. And it's not even just shoes. Like these guys are just kind of good with everything. Like it's pretty awesome on what they can do. Like just even stocks, it's pretty dope. And they are a $60 monthly fee, but I do want to explain why the $60 monthly fee is 100% worth it, because basically they have the system, and how they would like cop higher end releases for you is called slots in their chat. And what the slot system basically does and how it works is once you get into the chat, they have this section in their Discord called tickets, and you go to that section in tickets, and it basically take you to the site that shows you free and paid slots going on right now for different releases, and there's trusted users running basically bots for you guys, and they can go cop releases for you, any of these high-end releases. It's really dope. And how it work, again, if it's a paid slot, then you just have to pay them the little fee after. If it says like 20 PAS, then you just pay them 20 bucks after they copy you the item, if they do. And then if it's just a free slot, then all you're doing is paying the retail. You don't have to pay the person that copped you at anything, and that's really how Secret Sauce works. I love those slots, and I just wanted to mention that really quickly. And it's 100% safe and legit. Again, you're just, you know, how you again would give your info for the bots is you just would put it in a Google form, you just put shipping and payment info. 100% safe. I've done it multiple times again, and these guys caught me releases all the time, so you don't have to worry about these guys not being legit. I've been working with them for some months now. You guys probably know that if you've been watching the channel. And you know, I love my guys at Secret Sauce. So if you want to check them out down below, if you're interested in getting into this you know, group chat that can make you some money, more money reselling slots, early links, monitors, all that, then you know, just send them a message on their Twitter in the description and be like, yo, Tristan sent me, how can I get into the group? And that's all you got to do right there. So kind of explaining Secret Sauce, that's not really part of the sneakers how to cop, but it is something that can help you get more releases. So let's kind of get into discussing these payment methods right now. So you understand how to make the different Chrome users for each tab, how to set up a Nike account for each one, you know, installing BP proxy switcher. It's just a Chrome extension. You just install that on each different browser tab with each different Nike account on it. You got to make sure you do that so you can have a proxy for each browser if you're running like 15 different tabs. That's very, very, very important. Pretty much people do this for easy supply. So it's pretty much the same. Just think of it as sneakers. You're just making a bunch of accounts there. So another thing you're going to need to do, obviously, with each account is you cannot have the same payment method for each account. As you guys know, debit cards only work on one sneakers account. They only work on one sneakers account at a time. There's no debit card, to my knowledge, that works on more than one sneakers account. It doesn't. I don't think it works. But there's ways around this, and there's ways you can use your debit card to actually make more cards. And one way that you can actually use your debit card to make more cards online is there's two places. Privacy.com, I recommend these guys. Again, privacy.com for the US, and I recommend these guys right here over in Europe for the EU, Revolut. Now, what both of these places do, and Revolut does have a site for the US, but they don't work on sneakers. Privacy.com does work on sneakers. So what you got to do basically is once you sign up, make an account, what this allows you to do is basically it can allow you to assign your debit card or credit card or whatever you got. And if you have a credit card also, a credit card works on up to 5 sneakers accounts. Some people think 10. I think it works on 5. It really depends on what kind of credit card you got. If you got like a, the American Express, like black card, then that probably works on 10 sneakers accounts. But if you have kind of just like a lower end debit credit card, just a normal one, I'd say, like most people, then I'd say 5 accounts most for that credit card. But again, with that credit card and what you can do with it is you can actually go here and it allows you to basically assign a credit card or debit card, and it allows you to make virtual Visa cards online that you can use that are attached to your credit balance or attached to your debit balance, and they basically allow you to make these different cards you can use and assign to sneakers accounts, so you can make multiple payment methods. That's just kind of one thing you can use. Again, Privacy.com and Revolut, they allow you to make more cards online. And don't forget, the credit card works in up to 5 accounts while the debit only works on 1. I just think the credit card only works safely in up to 5. Again, you can try with 10, but it's really risky. And unless you got like a really, really good credit card with a very high spending balance, then I wouldn't recommend, just doing that. And they usually get sus about a bunch of the same charge. So just kind of be careful on that one. But credit card's usually a safe way to go. And there's other methods you can use online again. So the whole debate with the credit card thing, this is where I saw it says, general rule, 5 to 10 Nike accounts to 1 card. I say 5. And yeah, like virtual credit card companies allow you to make a few more cards, and those are the ones I just mentioned. So kind of, doing a little research right there. So 2 more payment methods you can also make online: Venmo and Cash App. They have their own debit cards, so those are 2 more payment methods you could use if you're not asking your family members, borrow their cards and pay them back. I get that. That's one thing you can do. Also, that's a whole other system. You can use that if you're just using a couple accounts. But Venmo and Cash App allow you to make your own debit cards. Also, I think you might have to be 18 to do those, but they allow you to make your own cards. So if you're 18, you can do that. And those are 2 more payment methods you can add right there. But if you're just trying to look for something simple, that's really easy. If you're not 18, Privacy.com is your way to go if you're in the US, and Revolut if you're in the EU. Both allow you to make virtual cards online. So the final thing I want to discuss, I've discussed pretty much everything with sneakers, how to set up your account, kind of some things you can do, more tips to have more success. I know sometimes people switch their account gender from male to female so they can hit more often on those women's releases. I think that is very smart, and also Nike's trying to appeal to more women resellers. Guys, I'd say they're trying to expand the game a little bit. So if you change your account gender from male to female, that might have some effect. I don't think it really does too much. I mean, I think it's kind of smart to think that way though. You're more active on the account. I guess you're kind of I guess a minority in the sneaker game, because I'd say more males are in the sneaker game than females. So you're kind of a minority in the sneaker game. You're more active on your sneakers account. You might hit on more drops. That is definitely a possibility. I see kind of how that works, but that's not what we're discussing right now. We're discussing how you guys can alter your address for each account. So this is a very, very important step. You cannot ship a bunch of the same, sneakers order to the same address. If you have like 5 sneakers accounts, you cannot have them all under the same address. I mean, you can add the same address for every account, but you will not get them all shipped to the same address. You will have your orders canceled if you try and ship a bunch of the same sneakers releases to the same address. So how you can change up the address and really jig it, as most people call it. I just say change it up really. As you go right here, and this is whole section, as you can see. So let's say my address was 123 Sneaker Street. Let's say I was just living on a street. Had my house there. So I just first account 123 Sneaker Street. For the second account, I would abbreviate the address and do like 123 Sneaker Street, and I could just do that. And then for the third account, what I would do right here is what you have to do is for each account after the third one, if you've already done for the first two, kind of abbreviate the address like this, then you have to start either adding apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3, for account 3, account 4, account 5, apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3. After the street portion, you could just put it in the apartment section, or just in the street line, you could just put apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3, because then that kind of just looks like your house is kind of separated into kind of like rooms and like condos kind of thing. And sneakers can't really tell when you do that. So you could type room 1, room 2, room 3, or apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3. Again, you could do this really with any account. You could do this after the first account, after the second account, after the third account. But if you're really only doing 3 accounts, then you would only do the first, kind of 3, kind of like this. And another thing you could even do is like you could add an extra letter. to the end of your address, you know, just as long as you make sure that it's still, there's no places that, like, you know, have an extra letter at the end that have the same address as you. Then you could also, you know, this would also be jigging it up. If I added an extra S, you know, that'd be jigging it up technically. It's just as long as there isn't a place, you know, called Sneakers with the extra S at the end. That's a street. So that's really all you got to do right there. That's how you would change up your address correctly. I don't know what that stutter was. I can't explain that right there. I do not know what that was. But yeah, again, just add it in the street portion. If it doesn't work, put it in the apartment section, just kind of for this end thing. And a couple more tips I want to mention again with copping right here. In this video, I know this has been pretty long, so this is kind of rounding it out right here. So hopefully you understood everything up to this point. And again, comments are open to ask any questions. So being more active on your sneakers accounts does help. And I've kind of noticed, aside from, you know, being more active on your sneakers accounts, you know, kind of participating in those polls and, you know, watching the lives and stuff like that, I've noticed that kind of does help a little bit more. And, you know, actually helps some people with even getting EA. I've seen more active users sometimes, I guess, get EA, but I don't really see any correlation between that, so I'm not just going to go say that outright. But, you know, again, using a computer also is very, very fast. I've noticed just with the computer, it's way easier to check out and load stuff. It's faster, and it's just kind of an easier setup. So making Nike sneakers accounts on a computer, I found it to be much easier for me, much more successful, and also probably the fastest way to check out on aside from a computer is using a newer iPhone. If you've got a newer iPhone, this isn't a newer iPhone, but if you've got a newer iPhone with a sneakers account and you have Apple Pay and a working Touch ID, you better be using that. And I'm mad if you're not, because that is like a 2-second checkout right there, and you will definitely be hitting super often. Because if you check out like a 2 seconds in your phone with Apple Pay like that, then yeah, sneakers is definitely gonna like give you the pair. You know what I mean? I've just noticed that. You know, just if you look more legit at the checkout, then it pays out. So that's really everything I gotta say right there. Again, you can screenshot this notepad. When you know, ask any questions down below, just kind of run through, so you can kind of, you know, screenshot the important parts. You know, kind of the payment methods and jigging the address right here. Very, very important stuff. This is probably the most important step in my opinion. Seriously, aside from the proxies. And yeah, I'm gonna end the screen recording right there, and that's my full breakdown on how you guys can cop more easily and successfully on sneakers in 2021. I don't know why I keep stuttering, but I think, you know, I just talked for like 22 minutes straight, so a little tired? No, not tired, just working perfectly. So let's roll the outro. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Again, if you all do want more content just like this how-to cop video right here, I'll be linking this video down below with pretty much all my other how-to cops right here. So feel free to subscribe below and also drop a like. I'll be keeping you guys stay tuned on all these upcoming releases and, you know, anything that's worth reselling, making some money on, or just cool stuff, you know, cool stuff at the game that's coming up. You know, I love talking about shoes just in general. Aside from the resale aspect, I don't do it too often, but I wish I could do it more often. And don't forget, goal in this video, 500 likes. I'm setting a huge goal. I noticed my last sneakers how-to cop hit 1,000, so, you know, I'm not even shooting full, you know, full goal. I'm just shooting kind of halfway, you know, from the, you know, half court type thing, you know. Let's see what we can do. All right, I'm done messing around. I love you guys. I gotta go get some mail here from the post office, and yeah, you know, also check out my IGs and Discord down below. I keep interrupting myself, but I keep forgetting, you know, get to the point. So make sure you check those out down below. Give me the follow there if you want. And yeah, your boy's gonna go get some mail, and then he's gonna edit this video and get it out today, because it's gonna take a while to edit. It's gonna take a few hours right here. So I'm out. Peace.